In this video, you'll find out all that happened in Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 9. Let's dive in. Episode 9 of Tulsa King Season 3 continues the momentum from Episode 8, when Tulsa was rocked by Deacon's betrayal and bomb plot. At Thresher's fundraiser, Deacon tried to kill Dwight, took his money, and constructed a bomb, but Dwight turned the tables. In the 9th episode of Tulsa King Season 3, we travel to Newark, New Jersey, and meet Russell Lee Washington Jr., an assassin portrayed by none other than Samuel L. Jackson. After doing a successful job at the Barclay Hotel, he poses as an electrician and goes back to his business to relax with a beer. Vince interrupts him to inform him that Quiet Ray would like to speak with him. After closing the door in Vince's face, Russell leaves to meet Ray in his rundown flat. As they converse, it becomes clear that Russell owes Ray money and is using all of these killings to settle his obligation. Russell believed that the most recent duty was his final one, and he was even with Ray when Ray disclosed that he needed to go on another mission. He will be able to break off his relationship with Ray if he successfully finishes that one. What is involved in this mission? Killing Dwight in Tulsa. Dwight is shown meeting with Musso back at Tulsa, who is still unaware that he won't be receiving Deacon or his confession anytime soon. By the way, Dwight essentially verifies Deacon's demise. He was shoved into a crypt, thrown into a coffin, and severely beaten, but he was still alive. He appears to be gone now. That doesn't matter, though, because Dwight chooses to use the video containing all of his confessions as pressure to obtain a federal liquor license. Although Musso doesn't expressly consent to give Dwight what he wants, it is clear from the episode's cut to Montague Distilleries taking over Tulsa that Musso most likely gave in and granted Dwight the liquor license. Additionally, Dunmire Distilleries begins to reach new lows while Montague Distilleries' sales soars. Indeed, since no one is purchasing their merchandise, it is physically returned to the warehouse. Either no one is purchasing their liquor, or perhaps Dwight is pressuring vendors to shut down the Dunmire. Whatever the situation, Cole is naturally stunned and begins to worry about how he will tell his father, who must already be upset because not only did Deacon's bomb not harm Dwight, but Deacon has also passed away. And when Cole informs Jeremiah that none of his tactics have had any meaningful effect on Dwight, Jeremiah predictably has a full-fledged tantrum. When Russell arrives at Bread 2 Buck Saloon, he observes Dwight going about his daily activities from a distance. Tyson sends Dwight a portion of the money he and Spencer made from the sale of all the drugs that were seized. He simply states that he and Spencer planned a rave that was a major success, but he doesn't tell Dwight how he and Spencer made all that money, since he presumably knows the big guy wouldn't agree. Dwight gives Tyson a pass, even though he is probably aware that he is trying to sell him a white lie. Hopefully, this won't backfire on them both. Russell approaches Dwight after Tyson has taken his departure, and Dwight recognizes his old friend right once. Dwight recognizes right away that there is something Russell isn't telling him because Tulsa doesn't quite lie between Newark and New Orleans. Dwight asks Russell directly if he is in town to kill his old friend from the joint, knowing that Russell is in Ray's pocket. Russell breaks the pretense and acknowledges that Ray has really sent him to kill Dwight. To give Bodie his cut of the drug-fueled rave's earnings, Tyson meets with Bodie. I assume that was an isolated incident, but then Tyson starts pushing Bodie to contact someone who can give them some ecstasy, indicating that Tyson plans to make these drug raves a regular affair. Ray calls Russell when he is getting ready at a motel to ask for an update on his mission. Russell tells him outright that he isn't performing his duties. To avoid feeling totally duped, he instructs Ray to get his money back from the store. Ray becomes quite irate and makes several death threats at Russell, but the elderly assassin is unaffected. Mitch tells Dwight at the Bread 2 Buck Saloon that a hitman from New York is sleeping in a neighboring hotel, and he isn't referring about Russell. Margaret arrives to speak with Dwight before he can decide if he should be concerned about that. She updates him on Thresher, who is constantly talking to the police about the assault at his fundraiser. Dwight returns home after she leaves, and Russell unexpectedly shows up at his door. In the conclusion of Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 9, Russell and Dwight visit the hotel where the New York hitman is staying. In the parking lot, they plan their approach to dealing with the man. Another scene with Mitch and Cleo. Because Mitch doesn't want to part with Dwight and Cleo wants to put this life of crime behind, things had become tense between them. After the bombing, Mitch was certain that Cleo would want to avoid him since she wouldn't feel secure enough to join Dwight's empire after such a huge explosion if she was still scared by her meeting with the police. However, it turns out that Cleo would rather be by Mitch through good times and bad than be by herself and safe. And when things appear to be improving, Jeremiah's goon kidnaps Joanne. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.